All right, here we go. Our final feedback video for this course. And, it's like the end of a moment, but I feel like everybody has really achieved progress. And I want you to know that you've got a friend in me in the future. You don't have to have a reason to contact me, but I'm right there for you, especially if we're taking a class again. So this fall I'll be teaching photography, maybe advanced photography. I'm hoping, fingers crossed, I can get some students because that's really fun. And also art history. I'll have 2 mini art histories, as far as I know. It's a wait and see, with a lot of things, with the virus and all that. But anyway, hoping to be a friend to you in the future. And I do have a lot of experience and knowledge about certain things. Just being old. So let's go ahead and start off with Abby. Let me sometimes I think I've shared with you, it won't let me click on a picture while I'm recording, so I've got to take it out of the recording window. And this is a super cute picture of this guy. I want you to notice that the top of his head is not the same as his hairline. So his hairline is above the top of his head, even though he's got a little bit of receding there. And that'll happen to everyone. It's coming for you. But, so the top of the head and the hairline are not the same thing. So here, I know this is really light, but we have Abby's, she did a nice oval, her ears, and then here she's got what appears to be the hair, I would have lowered this hairline a little bit, and you want to be sensitive to that. People don't like to appear like they have a receding hairline, so you kind of want to be generous. Make it a little lower, even if it's really far back. And also remember from our portrait sketchbook assignments that the eyes are going to be halfway down the face, halfway down the head is what I want to say. And that our ears are going to start directly across from the top, from the edge of our eye. The top of the ear matches the edge of the eye. So just trying to make this a teaching moment, I love the way you did the eyes. It's got that kindness to it, that this man has. I feel like the ears could use a little bit of adjusting. This one looks okay. It's a little bit on the big side. This one could go down a little bit. And also I want to say that whenever there's a wrinkle, you want to be careful not to make a strong line. You want to do some subtle shading instead. But this is so cute. Oh my goodness. You did a nice job on the beard. The mouth is it's in between the nose and the chin. So very nicely done there. And again, with wrinkles, you got to be sensitive to older people especially. And of course, to everyone really, because everyone is going to have some lines. Everyone has these lines. But you don't, as you get older, they get worse. But you want to be careful not to have a line. You want to have some subtle, soft shading. And then here is her final drawing. And I love how she added a little bit of dimension here. So at the edge of the chin, there's some darker values. So it really makes it appear that this face has dimension. And I think you did a great job, Abby. As far as the eyes go, I kind of tend to do like a half circle below the eyelid. And if I could just show you in his eyes, I have to get off of there and then go back. But do you see how the eyelid on the top and the eyelid on the bottom both cover parts of the circle of the iris? And that just makes him look more relaxed. You know, he's got a kind of relaxed looking face. He's smiling, and you're going to squint a little bit when you're smiling anyway. Most people do. Most people don't go, because that looks weird. It just doesn't feel natural. But just tips for the future. All right, it allowed me to click on it. Amazing. So great job, Abby. I think you've made vast improvements this semester, and I'm really pleased with your work. And this does feel natural. There's just very minor adjustments on proportions. So until you can eyeball it and you know, see that those dimensions that I've explained, I would go ahead and use the lines, you know, very, very light line across the center of the face, very, very light across the center vertically, and then, you know, remember our easy guide. Our easy guide, eyes are here. That's my husband singing. And top of the ears match across from the edge of the eye. And then between the nose, bottom of the nose, and the chin, the mouth goes about halfway between. And just refer back to the photo, and you'll just make minor adjustments. Okay, here is Chloe's little dreamboat. Goodness gracious, he's so cute. And let's see what Chloe's come up with here. She did do the lines. So I think that that's really smart, you know, as we're beginning learners. I see her eye line, you know, about halfway down the face. And the mouth is about halfway between the end of the nose and the chin, so super smart. And wow, look at that progress. Incredible. Yes, Chloe is a superstar. We know that she's got lots of talent. And we did talk about, she and I did talk about the bottom of the nose. Don't really need a line there. You know, it's what it is a little bit of shading rather than a strong line. So if you look at my nose, there's not a strong line there. There's just a little bit of shading. And she followed that advice, and you can tell his little nose is still a little upturned, you know, like babies, young people, very young people would be. And then she's got the bridge of the nose connecting to, you know, the upper lip. So that, gorgeous. And she refined it a little bit more. And then this is her final drawing. So this is a keeper. This is truly a keeper. I would frame this and hang it on the wall and say, there you are, buddy. It's my vision of you. And gorgeous, gorgeous. Love it. Okay, next is Donovan. And Donovan, I feel a little bit like with our discussion, our feedback discussion last week, we talked a little bit more about proportions and my simple guides for you. So the shape of the face should be more like an oval than super round, and the eyes should be about halfway down. So up here what you're going to have is the hairline and the forehead. So you've got to have room for all of those things that go above the eyes. And I know it seems odd that the eye line is going to be way down here, but it's just one of those things that we have to experiment with and try and realize that it really is true. It really is. And working from a photograph, like I don't see your photograph here, so I'm not sure exactly what this person looks like. But I'm just following basic proportion guidelines. And then here, I think, again, you were trying to do a skin tone. But remember that all skin tones have highlights. All skin tones have shadows. Everyone, no matter what shade of brown or tan or, you know, anything in between you are, is it has to have highlight and shadow and shading to show things that are coming forward, like the nose. A little further back would be the cheeks and the forehead and the chin. So those would all have highlights. And then we need to have a little bit of shading in the darker areas, you know, like the curves of the nose. And you've got to get that hairline in there. So yeah, there's just, you know, a few things to work on to show your progress. And I'm not sure why you're coloring in the whites of the eyes. So I want you to look at a photograph of a person and notice the difference in values. You know, you need to show everything from the lightest shine to the medium shade to the darkest value. And as you get more advanced, you're going to see even more levels in between, you know, from the lightest to the darkest. So if you take one thing away from this class, I hope that you remember that I'm here for you if you need any help in the future, if you need any guidance, or, you know, just to reach out as a friend if you have a question. And also that facial proportions are really important. And I would do those lines like in our portrait progress. You know, start with an oval, add a line across the center going horizontal, a line going vertical down the center, and then here's your eyes. Your ears are going to start right from the edge of the eye. And your mouth is going to be halfway between the bottom of the nose and the chin. And then work on showing those values just like we did with a sphere and a cube and a cone and a cylinder. All those are 3D forms, and we are also a 3D form. You know, we're a little bit more complicated because we've got things sticking out here and there, but it's still the same idea. You're going to have lighter values to show things coming forward and darker values to show what's further in the distance. Okay, and you can reach out to me about that if you ever need to. And here's Ivy's. And Ivy, I think I might have mixed up the order of yours. Maybe, yes. So this would have been your very first one. And who is this beautiful woman? She is so cute. I would love to see her photograph. I think you did some really smart things here. You've got the oval shape of the face, and I can tell she's an older person. You know, we start to get those, you know, when our skin loses its firmness and, you know, things just start to go south. It's coming for you. Maybe 20, 30 years away, but it'll happen. And so that looks great. And your lines here, I would have probably done just a light shading rather than a line, just to be kind, you know, just to be kind to this woman. Your eyes are gorgeous, just gorgeous. Here we could have had maybe a minor amount of shading on the eyeballs, but, you know, just in the corners. The eyebrows are gorgeous, and your proportions are spot on, just perfection. And then here, let's see, yeah, here was your second one where you're adding skin tone. Beautiful, beautiful skin tone. I love how you've got it just a little bit darker here on the edge. And I can see a range of values. I see the highlight on the tip of the nose. Beautiful, beautiful. Wonderful, wonderful work. So you've got the proportions really well done. Your shading and your values really well done. I wonder if she has hair or if you just stop there. You know, it's possible. It's possible that, you know, she's at the point where she's lost her hair. But anyway, if she had hair, her hairline would probably be right around here. And I'm a fan of drawing the hair as a shape. I always do the line of the hairline, whether it's bangs, you know, so as a shape, and then the top of the hair down to, you know, however it is. Mine is up in a bun, so it, you know, would go to right here. And then if you have any hair hanging down on the sides, like a ponytail would maybe be behind your ear, coming over your shoulder, or just longer hair behind your ears. It might go completely around your ears. It might cover your ears. But I recommend starting with the shape when you're doing hair, and then add texture, add dimension with highlights, medium shades, and darker shades. Okay, I think that's it for our portraits. So let's go ahead and go on to our oops, I went to the wrong folder. There we go. Okay, so first, with our portfolio, let's look real quick at the guidelines. So remember that our background, white, black, or gray. I'm even on the fence about gray. I mean, okay, if you like gray, whatever. I think black or white shows off the contrast, kind of like framing an artwork. You know, everything looks great in an, you guys know what a mat is. You know, that matting material that's kind of like cardboard inside of a frame. So a black mat or a white mat works on most everything. So that's really the reasoning behind this. And our first slide, we just needed to have some information there. Then we had continuous line, and I really wanted to see your very best image. Okay, and then following the image, we had a simple description, just with the midterm, materials, title, etc. And then we went down through all of the projects that we've done. And then finally we have a self-evaluation. Okay, so let's take a look at those. And lucky Abby always gets to be first. Okay, let me just squeeze this inside of our recording window. You can tell that I haven't been busy. I have like 1 million things opened up. Okay, so here's Abby's first slide. Looks great. Here's continuous line. Perfect. And yes, okay, so she's got materials and a description. Perfect. Her 4-part. Wonderful. And materials and description. Okay, perspective. Lovely. And then she's got a little notes about how things went for her. And I always like that, because I feel like, you know, whoever is looking at it is going to feel those things along with you and remember their experience with the first time that they did a perspective drawing. Yes, good. Okay, abstract, delightful. Yes, I love those light bulbs with the little... If you've ever taught a child how to draw a light bulb, it's just like, it's such a joy to them to make this little spirally filament. It's one of my favorite things to draw with kids. And we also do it for when we're practicing light side and dark side. You know, the light side we either do a light bulb or the sun, and then the dark side we do a moon or Darth Vader. And they have, you know, they totally get that. It's like a symbol. Okay, beautiful. Still life with pen and ink. Yeah, cross-hatching is usually difficult when you're getting started, but when you see what you can produce with it, it is, you know, it always impresses people. Your charcoal drawing, gorgeous. Yeah. Very nice. Yeah, messy, so messy. And your figure study. Great, great, great. I'm so happy you enjoyed it. And here's your portrait of our lovely fellow. The nose, yes. I agree. I've always struggled with noses. So you might not ever get over that. But practice makes perfect. And really just noticing subtle details like, rather than a line, use an edge. Helps so much. Okay, so draw figures and facial features. Good. Yeah, the nose. Perspective. Also difficult, but there are little tips and tricks that we've learned through our videos that we watched and our practice. And I'm so glad you feel you have improved. Aww. I'm so happy to hear that, Abby. That's wonderful. Okay, now let's look at Bailey. Here's Bailey. Great first slide, and there's her continuous line. Look at where we began. Yeah, so look at it like it's your first drawing. Aww, it's hard to draw babies. I didn't know he was already one. And your 4-part, great shading. Yeah, it is, hindsight is 20/20, as they say. Looking back after you've done all of your learning, you see things differently. Aww. And love this. It's so cute. This little curl in the cheek and the eye. Monstera. Oh, I'm so glad you enjoyed charcoal. It can be super fun because it's so easy to shade, but pulling back, you got to remember to use your eraser to bring those highlights back. Again, gorgeous. Look at this. Oof. So proud of you, Bailey. Yes, I'm proud of you too. Still life with charcoal. Wunderbar. Yes, charcoal is a mess. And it's like one of those things I avoid letting children use. My charcoal pencils are like gathering dust. Yes, this is beautiful. So well proportioned. Look at those arms and the hands. Gorgeous. I agree. Okay, and your portrait. Okay, pen and ink turned out to be, and you remember you'd struggled with the cross-hatching with pen and ink, but really advanced. Continuous line. Let me just point out to you that you actually did continuous line in your abstract drawing. Here, look at this. That line right there, what you've got is continuous line. And it's such a gorgeous example. So you're better than you think. You really are. And I think it was only a struggle for you because it was just our first drawing. Yes, I agree. Oh, I'm so glad. So glad, Bailey. Thrilled. Congratulations, you've done so well. Okay, let's go on to Chloe. And great first slide. Awesome continuous line. She decided to give her artwork titles. So we know what it is, we know her materials, and we know what she's titled it. Oh, I love this one. This is like I've said, I'd frame it. So simple, yet so delicious. Okay, and I know she struggled with this one, but I still think, you know, it's a testament to drawing in perspective. The ceiling and the floor and the dimension of the bed and, you know, the dimensions of these 3D objects. Excellent. That's hilarious. So she's basically commenting on the style she prefers. So cute. Yes, and I can see why. Fantastic. Awesome. Okay, and this is pen and ink. Still life. See. That, you know, leaves a lot of room for thought. That title, See. This is what I see. Oh my gosh. So Chloe was without her drawing materials and ended up using eyeshadow for her charcoal. How brilliant is that? I mean, it's like when you want to do this recipe and you don't have all the perfect ingredients, but you look around you and you see, oh, that might work. And it's a substitution. And it worked out so well. I love the feeling of these curves and, you know, how you were able to create different values, you know, from dark to medium to this gorgeous little edge over here. Brilliant. And here's her figure drawing. So cute. So funny. And another masterpiece. Little hero. Aw. So I have to agree with you there, and but I don't know. Your realistic art has really improved, and I just think it's all so exceptional. Perspective. Yeah, I think, you know, that on the level that you are working, I know you had the most difficulty personally with perspective, but it still looks very good. Good, good, good. I have a friend who says that, and I'm always like, why does he say it? But then you end up saying it yourself. You know how you pick up on people. Okay, so here he's got this deep gray. And I would honestly say, Donovan, that this is a little hard to read. I would have actually click and drag over all of your text and make it white so that you can see it a little better against the deep gray. You know, that is a gorgeous gray. Oh, and you did that here. Smart. So here is your continuous line. Yeah, I think it was a very nice first effort. And your 4-part drawing, I know you had to redo this a couple times, so I am proud of you for doing it and keep trying. And here we've got a little highlight on the nose. So I would have liked to see this in your final portrait, honestly. Got some skills there. Yes, yes. And yes, different phases, different materials. Okay, perspective. I'm not sure this is your perspective. Remember you did your house, your living room, and there was a column in the living room, and you were able to show some dimension, you know, the ceiling and the floor. So I do remember that. But you do have a range of values there, so I do appreciate that. And then here is abstract. I think that this is actually a sketchbook assignment, Donovan. Let me just pull that one up real quick. So, Yeah, actually the abstract assignment really didn't have an example, because what you were to do is choose 3 different abstract drawings, like Google abstract drawing, or abstract art, and then kind of put them together. So it didn't need to have dimension, it didn't need to have shading. So yeah, I'd have to look back. Let me just look back real quick. Let's see if I can find yours. Sorry, I know this is taking forever, but I just want to help. Where are we? That was Unit 4. Abstract. Yes. You got 100% on that. Oh no, that's the quiz. Whoops. Oh, I see. So that was the sketchbook. Oh, okay, I get it now. That was not one you were able to complete. Forgive me, my bad. Aww. And there's your still life. I think this was actually your 4-part drawing. I do think it is well done. I agree. I love your shading. And we're able to get different values here. Aw, I'm so glad you're proud. This was also one of our sketchbook assignments. I think that was Unit 2. And your figure study, which is very interesting. Oh man, chilling. Aw. And your portrait. Oh my goodness. I love hearing your commentary. Okay, your biggest problems with just rushing and turning things in for a grade. Aw. That's, I'm so proud of you for being honest. And yes, you did come a long way with using the materials that we needed. You actually got your plain white paper. Oh. Well, I'm grateful for you, Donovan, and I know that you're going to go far in life because you're such a charming person. And just having that personality that you have, you're going to go a long way. And I am so proud of you for trying your best in many situations. I mean, I know I pushed you to get things turned in, but I do appreciate the progress that you've made. And I do hope that I've helped you. Okay, here goes Haley. Okay, Haley. Haley's going to be a teacher. I know that. I hope so. Fingers crossed, because she's wonderful. Continuous line. And her description, her 4-part. Love. Yes, crosshatch with pen. It is difficult, but if you realize that all it is, just like shading, it's creating different values. So here you've created a darker value by making your lines closer together and going over them again and again. With crosshatching, one of the really simplest tricks is using more directions. Okay, so say you go diagonal the other way. You can go horizontal, you can go vertical, and then just slightly a different angle, and just every time you change your direction, your value is going to get darker. So it's Not as horrible as it seems. It does seem horrible at first, though. I agree. And there's your perspective. Yes, I agree. And your abstract. So cool. Aww. That's so cool. Very cute. And this is gorgeous. I love how you are breaking the plane here. You know, it's coming forward just because you're going outside of the border. But yeah, it's got great dimension. Dirt cheap. Oh my goodness. Great details. Super fun. And I can, oh, Big Pen. I can see you going through this portfolio with another person and just discussing all of these, you know. This is just like background, you know, the truth. Oh, I don't know. I think it's very nicely done. I love this highlight, the shape of the highlight and the curve of the surface of the water. That's just gorgeous. And I love your girl here. She has got tons of personality. Oh, she's dancing. Let me see. I think you did a good job with the hands and the feet. Okay, and there's your portrait. This picture looks a little bit squished. Maybe when you were sizing it, you sized from one side rather than the corner. So that's another tip. But I did love this portrait. I know, I can't do anything with my left hand. If I broke my right arm, I'd be lost. So I have this whole right and left thing going on too. So I hear you. And then, you know, even when you're doing your eye makeup, like when girls, like when we're putting on mascara, isn't the other eye always terrible? Oof, it is for me. It's always clumpy. Oh, I really liked your abstract art. Oh, thank you for saying that. I just adored having you. You've been so much fun. Okay, let's go back to our final. That's Ian. Finally, Ian, you know, hopefully you were just scrolling through. I love your mushrooms. I'm a big mushroom fan. Yes, I agree. And this, the human heart, boy, I told people about this. And like, you would not believe what this student did. It's just incredible. And I know you were probably working from maybe a photograph or another drawing. Hopefully it wasn't the real thing, because that would be a little scary. But gorgeous work. Gorgeous. Yes, I think you solved that problem really well. And your interior, very nice. Yes, because working with cubes, you realize that those objects, you know, those shelves, the shelving unit was actually created entirely of cubes. So that was a smart thing. And I love your abstract. This is really an incredible drawing. If you, there's so much emotion in it. I'm so glad you enjoyed this one. And beautiful, beautiful charcoal still life. And your figure drawing, ooh, she looks tall and strong. Love it. Oh. I don't know. If you were working from a photograph, like one of my daughters is, I think I might have mentioned, is 6'2", and she is like all legs. So, you know, people, we really do vary. And gorgeous, gorgeous. You know how much I love this. And I do understand. Well, that explains your abstract. I see. I get you. Okay, abstract. Oh, got to revisit pen and ink. I don't know. I think your portrait is wonderful. Yes, I agree. Oh, I'm so glad to hear that, Ian. All right, I've talked quite enough. So, like I said at the beginning, feel free to reach out. I hope to hear from you all again, or maybe see you in my classes in the fall. And I will talk to y'all soon. Have a great break before the fall, and bye-bye.